One day, a wife of one of the prophets of God came to see Elisha. She was clearly upset and needed help. "My husband is dead," she cried out. "As you know, he was a believer in the one true God. He was very poor, and when he died, he had many debts. One of the men he owed money to wants his money back. As I cannot pay, the man is threatening to take away my 2 sons and make them his slaves." Elisha asked the Lord for guidance. How could God tell this poor woman? "Tell me, what do you have in your house?" Elisha asked. "Only 1 small pot of oil," the tearful woman replied. "Here's what you must do," said Elisha. "Go home and gather all the empty vessels you can find. Borrow empty jars from your neighbors, too. You need to gather as many jars as you can." "Why? What for?" the woman asked. Elisha then told her what to do once the jars had been collected. She went home, and she had her 2 sons gather as many empty vessels as they could find. They borrowed bowls and jars from their neighbors and friends. It made quite a collection. The woman went into her house and closed the door, just as Elisha had told her. Then she started tipping the oil from her 1 small jar of olive oil into the first large bowl. She poured and poured, and the little jar did not empty. The oil kept flowing and flowing until the big bowl was filled. Then she tipped the small jar of oil into a big bucket. Wow, the whole bucket filled up, right to the top. The woman looked into her smaller jar of oil, and it still wasn't empty, so she poured it out into another large jar. And when the jar was filled, she kept pouring out the oil into basins, bowls, jugs, and pots. All of them were filled right up to the top. "Any containers left to fill?" the woman asked her sons. "No," they replied. "You have filled them all." As soon as the woman heard the oil in her pot stop coming out, it was totally empty. The woman ran to find Elisha. "I did everything you told me, and now I have masses and masses of oil." Elisha was pleased. "Now go and sell the oil and use the money to pay your husband's debts. There should be enough money left for you and your sons to buy the food and clothes and things you need." The woman was so pleased at the way God had provided for her. Most of all, she could keep her 2 sons, and they could all be looked after. The woman returned home very happy. God had looked after them. Why? She had trusted and obeyed God. Faith and obedience always go together like that. This story is about how much God loves us, and God takes care of us in our times of need. God is always with us through every difficult thing in our lives. Today we're going to make a craft that reminds us about how God loves us and loves us for how we are uniquely who we are. For this craft, you're going to want some markers, a piece of paper, a paper plate, a paintbrush, and your favorite color of paint. My favorite color is green, so I have some green paint. What we're going to do is we're going to put our handprints on our paper to remind us that we are uniquely who we are, because nobody in the world has the same hands as we do. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to spread my green paint onto my hand. I want to make sure, get it all over. And then I'm going to put it down on my paper. That was my left hand. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my right hand. I might need a little bit more paint. So I'm going to get that paint all over my left hand. And I'm going to put it down, just like I had my right hand. So now I have both my handprints, and then I'm going to go clean my hands before I do anything else. So then I'm going to decorate my picture. I'm going to write, "God loves me just as I am." And then I'm going to cross, and you can decorate your picture any other way that you would like. You had fun making your craft. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!